Join Linwood Jackson every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. for the all-new Linwood Jackson Radio Show on Wfai 1510 AM. Every Sunday, Linwood will tackle the issues close to your heart, from civil rights and politics to community affairs around the first state and the nation. Linwood speaks on the issues facing citizens in our area on a weekly basis, but his show is so much more. Linwood will talk about his passions, such as dancing and traveling the world and helping people broaden their horizons while embracing different cultures. That's the Linwood Jackson Radio Show, every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the all-new WFAI 1510 AM.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me today. You're listening to the Linwood Jackson Radio Show on WFAI 1510. I'm your host, Linwood Jackson. I want to thank you for joining us today. We celebrate African American History Month in February every year, although you know here on the Linwood Jackson Radio Show we like to celebrate every month all through the year. So I'm going to start off with talking a little bit about Mr. Paul Robeson, born April 9th in 1898. He was an African-American singer and actor who became involved with civil rights movement. Robeson won an academic scholarship to Rutgers University, where he became a football All-American and the class valedictorian. He received his LLB from Columbia Law School while playing in the National Football League. Then he had an international career in singing as well as acting in theater and movies. Few people have ever achieved his level of excellence in athletics and academics. His achievements were all the more incredible given the barriers of racism that he had to surmount. Robeson brought Negro spirituals into the center of the American songbook. His theatrical performances have been recognized as the first to display dignity for black actors and pride in African heritage. And he was the first artist to refuse to play live segregated audience. Several public and private establishments he was associated with have been landmarked or named after him. In 1978, his films were shown on American television for the first time, and his efforts to end apartheid in South Africa were posthumously rewarded by the United Nations General Assembly. Paul Robeson, Tribute to an Artist, won the Academy Award for Best Short Documentary in 1980. In 1995, he was named to the College Football Hall of Fame in the centenary of his birth, which was commemorated around the world. He was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award as well as a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. As of 2011, the run of Othello, starring Robeson, was the longest-running production of a Shakespeare play ever staged on Broadway. He received the Donaldson Award for his performance. He was characterized by Michael Morrison in 2011 as a high point in Shakespearean theater in the 20th century. Subsequently, he received the Springer Medal from the NAACP. His starring role as an African-American in the film was a feat not repeated for more than 2 decades in the United States. The United States Postal Service issued a 37-cent stamp honoring Robeson in 2004. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have some special guests in the studios today. We have a movie producer and director of the Wilmingtonians, Mr. Gordon DelGiorno. And in the studios today, he's going to talk to us a little bit about the film, the Wilmingtonians, that they just finished here in the city, and it's going to be shown coming up on April 4th. Gordon, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm great, thank you.
So tell us about who'd you bring with you, first off?
This is Maria Beauchamp, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can actually say that. And it's French, and I'm very, very, I trash the French language usually. But
that's why I let you bring her in.
Okay. She is the co-producer of Wilmingtonians. They could be somebody. That's the tagline.
They can be somebody. The Wilmingtonians. They can be a place to be somebody is our tagline.
Well, that's the play off it. You know, it's like, it's been made fun of. It's been not made fun of. So we are are playing off the tagline of the city, and we think it's a lot of fun. This is a offbeat comedy, so Michael Rodriguez approached me, which he's a Delaware native, and said, I want to make this movie. And it was sort of like, I think we had happy hour one time, and he was kind of like, hey, you want to, I said, yeah, I can do it. I don't know if he thought I was serious or not. And I said, let's put it together. And after 3 meetings, we had a script, and it started to take off from there.
Great. And you're talking about Michaelangelo Rodriguez is the script writer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, he'll be coming on next in the second half of the hour. And Maria, tell us, what do you do in the play or in this movie?
Well, I met Gordon when 2 of my models decided to cast for the film, and I think we had a good working chemistry, so I was able to help them with kind of anything that needed to be done, as far as maybe putting the clothing together or telling someone to stand a certain way. So just a little bit of everything, pretty much.
Okay, as co-producer.
Yes.
You're doing a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
That's what producers do when they asked. We do everything.
I know
We're the project managers. And so she does a great work.
Multitasking.
Right.
Yeah, I know that's right. Everybody's involved. So tell us a little bit about the Wilmingtonian. I understand it's a dark comedy, first off. And from there, what else is going on in?
Well, dark comedy is really subjective. So, people start to get an idea when they say dark comedy. I think if you had to categorize it, you would say, is it farce or is it dark comedy? And farce is just way over the top. Dark comedy, I think it's kind of a light, medium roast, would you say?
A medium roast of the city of Wilmington.
Right. And it's offbeat. It's definitely a little edgy, but it's family friendly at the same time. We don't have any cursing, nothing major, maybe one little thing, and it's not even major at all. I'm not sure if I can say it on radio, so I won't say it. But I think the whole family could come to it. There's 2 teenagers in it. There's a boyfriend, girlfriend in it that move from Texas and to live, because they lose their jobs and they have nowhere to live. They come with a U-Haul and they see the tagline, hey, we could be somebody. It says it on the sign. So they come in, and what happens is they're introduced to the mayor of Wilmington. And
we're in trouble now.
But yeah, right. But the thing is, it's not the mayor. He was the mayor 30 years ago. And so he says, if you want to be somebody, you have to do tasks. So he says clean out a toilet and get stray cats together and round them up and sweep the streets. So these people are sort of lured into doing this work, and but he's an imposter. And I won't tell you the rest of the movie.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
but that's the general thing, and it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like it. And what inspired you to make this film?
Michaelangelo hired me, inspired me.
I know that's right.
What inspired him, you can ask him. I think it was a collaborative effort, and that's the fun. I mean, this thing sort of took a life of its own. He had a general idea that was all over the map, and my job as a producer and a director is to sort of hone in on what's important and make this thing flow. And I think that he allowed me that creativity and to use. I mean, I've been doing this 15 years. I'm not a great screenwriter, but I've seen enough that are good and bad to say, and he gave me the leeway to help him, and not everybody does it. It's a lot of ego in this business, and he was able to, and I appreciate that. And everybody that we brought on is like that. It's really a collaborative effort.
Wow. And how many people would you say is involved in this?
I don't know, Maria, what about 15 or 20?
Yes, we have about 20.
Are regular. We
have about 20.
About 20, and that's including the actors?
The actors and, different people that have helped out. We have a still photographer behind the scenes, and, who knows what they'll do. They'll help out. We have a dog in it, which is always great, folks. You got to come see the dog. Dogs always trump actors.
Animals, right?
Right.
Okay, so now, and how did you know you wanted to be a filmmaker, Gordon?
I really didn't. I sort of fell into it because the joke was I've done every other job, maybe other than being a scientist or something, and what's next? My brother and I, we started making scripts and skits when we were kids, and we were always on stage with, the family, but never anybody else. And we saw Clerks back in '99, and we said, oh my God, this thing made so much money. We've got to do better than this. And so I don't think we have done better than this. We're still trying.
So you're talking about your brother who you work at the Film Brothers Co-op in Wilmington?
Right, Greg. So he's less involved, more on the creative side, but he's less involved in the day-to-day operations. But originally in '99, we did our first movie.
Well, before you leave, we certainly want you to talk about the your Film Brothers Co-op in Wilmington.
Certainly.
You know, a little bit about what's going on there. I know the city of Wilmington is very big in the creative arts, filming and theater. So what made you guys want to do film here in a small city? Why not New York?
Well, people ask me that, and I say, well, think about it. You go to New York, you got millions of people, and they all, think they have this great idea, and they all want to be the director, and then they find themselves waiting tables and being a production assistant for 8 years. And I went and worked on, the School of Rock, the Jack Black movie. I was up there. I got a taste of it, and I said, this is not for me. I want to go back home because it's open territory down at home. I could go to L.A. I have enough contacts to do that, and it's just not of interest to me. I love my home too. I love Wilmington. Right,
I know that's right. Kind of like a big fish in a small pond.
Certainly,
you stand right out.
Absolutely.
And Maria, so you have I understand you have a casting.
I own Prestige Empire. It's a modeling and entertainment group. So we do casting for different modeling jobs and projects. We also do concerts and live music. We support local artists mostly. I have to agree with Gordon as far as New York. I do a lot of work in New York, but I love Wilmington. I am actually originally from Puerto Rico, and I moved to Delaware, and this is home now, and I love it. It's small, and a lot of people think, well, can you really be somebody or not? And you can if you work and you're willing to do the work. And people like Gordon, it's proof of that. You could be in a big city and do the work and fight for it, or you could be home and do the work and be great and still work with the big cities.
I know that's right. And how many businesses do you have? I understand you have a couple of them. You told me in the green room.
I think I'm like Gordon. I think I want to do everything.
Right.
I also have a boutique, which is right on Market Street, and shoes, clothing, fashion. It's all part of the entertainment modeling business. So even though I have a few little things going on, they kind of all tie together. My biggest passion would be helping the community and being out there. A film like the one that we're working on gives young talent that opportunity to know that even though they're still here in Delaware, that there are projects that they could be a part of, and everyone in the community can support them and can show them, we're here to show you support, continue to grow your modeling acting career, continue to make films, continue to cast for different things.
Right. Do you have a lot of young people?
Yes, we do. In our group, we have members as young as 5 years old. My oldest is 28 years old.
Wow, 5 years old.
Yes.
You hear that, man? At 5 years old. Wow. And so I guess I'm sure as we're all aware of how important it is for the creative arts in a kid's life. It helps them with all kind of things. Tell us some of the things that your kids are learning of being involved in the arts in general, the movies, the theater, or the modeling. What do you see?
I think the biggest thing that I could be proud of is the fact that these young kids, especially if you start with someone as young as 5 years old, that if they have a passion for something that they like and somebody actually supports them, they have a different venue and a path to walk on. I live in the city of Wilmington, so I see how the crime rate is rising, how gangs are forming and things like that. And for kids to know that there's a place that they could go to and be part of the creative arts and they have that support for free, it's better than to let them be on the streets and be part of the violence and be part of the problem. So instead of being part of the problem, my group decided to be part of the solution, and that is creating different things for them to do, whether it's dancing, acting, modeling.
Now, what's up with the dancing part? I don't know if you noticed, but I love salsa.
Oh, good. We do salsa, we do bachata, we do hip-hop. I have Steven Martinez. He's my lead instructor. We do kids hip-hop classes 3 times a week. He just auditioned for American Got Talent. So we do all kinds of dancing with the kids.
And where are you located?
We're right on 316 North Market Street.
316 North Market Street.
Yes,
and what
sir.
are your hours of operation?
We're usually there at 10 a.m. and you could still find me at 10 p.m. I'm there all day pretty much.
And you have a dance studio there?
Yes, we do. We do classes Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 5:30 to 6:40.
Wow. Gordon, tell us about the Film Brothers co-op that you have going on.
Film Brothers Co-op is a space at 2nd and Market. I'm at 205 North Market, across from Maria, down next to Extreme Pizza, across from Al's Sporting Goods, for landmarks that you might need. And it's really become a space that people can rent out or use to collaborate on different creative projects, have parties, events. We've had concerts in there. So it was going to be a space where different film people could come in and use it. And I just didn't want to be a babysitter and a landlord and collect rent. And so I said, let me just open it up and make it sort of event driven. So I operate out of there. I have another office up on Orange Street. And so it's really to collaborate with different things there. There's all kinds of different creative things. We're on the Art Loop every month, so too.
Wow, that's great. And Gordon, what do you say to young people out there who are struggling to get into the film business?
Well, the first thing I would tell them is take a business class or learn about business, because in this day and age, I get calls at least once a week. Hey, I'm just graduating from the School of the Arts or somewhere. I need a job, or can you help me out? And I go, there are no jobs. It's all contract business. It's a contract business. It's a project-driven business. So if you're not able or willing to really roll with it and grab what you can grab and get involved, whether it's for nothing or for a small pay, and maybe wait tables for a while or work at a hardware store or whatever it is you do, you're not going to make it in this business. So I tell them is to find a project or group that is proactive. Don't sit back and wait and think you're going to get a job. It's not going to happen. Even if you go to Philly, New York, it's the same thing. So they need to learn some business courses or get business savvy about how to sell yourself. It's not like years ago where your mom and dad worked for DuPont for 30 years or your mom and dad worked for the phone company for 30 years and you get a pension. And this is not that. You have to manage your career like anything else.
Yeah, that's one thing I find in the schools today. They don't teach you how to work for yourself. They teach you how to work for somebody else. And that's what I like about what you guys are doing in your businesses, inspiring young folks to reach out and do their own thing and be you're inspiring their creative juices. I tell you what, I've never seen anything like a young child working his creativeness, being creative and doing. It's just a beautiful sight to see when a child grows into being somebody,
If I could add one thing, actually, it's like you could be a UPS driver, you could pick up trash for a living, but there's a creative side in all of us. And so there's people that dabble in writing or they play guitar, they do something when they have these regular jobs. So it's not like you have to just start your own business. Not everybody's going to do that, but at least understand how it works. And then that way, when you do work for somebody, you can do something else